Those jams that never stop.
And it's not even a blues in E minor.
And yeah, you're playing in an A, right?
Yeah, A.
I'm playing it in B, but you know.
Ampless rig solutions, new products, new things that have been announced that are not yet in the studio, but that will come to be in the studio very soon. We'll go over some gear news and whatnot. We have the DIY guitars. We can reopen that can of worms if you guys have more questions as well.
Oh yeah. It's still running. It's still running until the 19th of June.
Exactly.
So don't forget about the challenge. Yeah, we have quite a few people here already. Hugo Lopez, hey y'all. Koich, probably. Bill Bedford. Willett, hey, Jeffrey Egan. Murray Williams, Dark Star. You guys are amazing. Thanks for joining in. Mark B. Yeah, it started. Yes, it started. The guys were sweating behind the camera and behind the audio desk. We had some weird hum. You guys let us know if it's gone or something's still there. I think we're good.
Yeah.
The guys seem confident. We have Phil, Lucas, and Teemu. As always, the best crew in the world.
Did you just congratulate Finland? Was it Teemu? Did Teemu? You're not allowed to use the chat. We told you you were not allowed. Phil, you're betraying the motherland.
I'm a fair loser.
Yeah, well,
loser.
I'm not. I'm a sole
such
loser.
Thing, though?
Yeah.
In case you guys are wondering, hockey was the World Championship, like the final, right? And Finland played against Canada, which is like a massive. What is that? Like a collusion of two massive hockey
It's the same as last year, and it's the same as the year before, and it's the same as the year before that.
No, but 2020 there wasn't any World Championships.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So 19, 21,
That's true.
22.
Yeah,
So the year before that.
So
anywho,
hockey fans here, and on top of that, we have a Finn in the in the team.
oh, Mike is there. Hey, Mike, how you doing? It's been too long, my friend.
Oh yeah, Alexander Hobson, love from Finland. Well, apparently we have Finnish people on the other end of the camera
Let's
too.
not celebrate too much, shall we? We're here to talk about guitar stuff.
The only good thing is we're gonna win next year because it was.
That's true. Yeah, it was
Finland.
Yeah. There's the rotation. Yeah, we're not going to talk about this year too much.
Pirate Mike says, finally catch alive.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you did catch this one. Not sure if it's worth it, but hey, we're here. We are so excited about some new guitar stuff because.
Bonjour, hello, guten tag, salam alaikum. Malikum salam.
It's a lot of Ampless solutions that came out last 1 or 2 weeks. Like for example, the 2-note ReVolt. Maybe you guys heard about it. It's not even out yet. We haven't even seen it yet. Just
not in real life.
Heard of it and seen pictures and yeah.
That looks very exciting. If you have the page open somewhere for the ReVolt, the ReVolt is basically a combination of what 2-notes have been putting out with the Le series. I don't know if they have a better name for that. Le Clean, Le Crunch, Le Gain, and Le Bass.
Bass, yeah.
And so this time we have like two.
Le Lead, I think it was.
Le Lead, yeah, absolutely. Le Gain. One version for guitar, one version for bass, and they're both 3-channel tube analog preamps with cab simulation, but a very stripped down version of the cab sim, because that unit is intended to be used in conjunction with something like the cab M afterwards, and then you have basically your 3-tube analog preamps going into
whatever cab
you want. So that came out last week. That was announced last week, and so we should have the exclusive units, the video units here in the studio pretty soon. I'm looking forward to try that out.
Hopefully, that would be awesome. Absolutely. And let's not forget about the last big hit, which was again last week. One of them is on this board.
Yep.
It's
the other two are there.
The Dream, the UAFX Dream, which is a deluxe reverb simulation.
65.
And there's the Woodrow and the Ruby, which are an AC30 and a Tweed.
55 Tweed, a
55
bassman type of situation.
Yeah, and there are obviously other stuff on the market which are not that super new, but still pretty damn good. There's the Iridium from Strymon, which we don't have now in the studio, but we have the ACS1 from Morris Audio, which is again a similar unit. They all have their character, I guess, and style. So let's talk about it later. But
like feature set as well, because they all do, like, as we talk. If you guys haven't seen that video, we have a full-long feature video with Thor from Universal Audio that came out last week.
Pedal Jesus was in the house.
Pedal Jesus in the house, and that goes very much into detail as to what each of these three pedals do. I think by this point the ACS1 and the Iridium are fairly well known as units that model three different types of very famous amps as well.
There's some clicking. I hear some clicking. It might be me. I'm not sure. Might be me.
Comes and goes, I don't know. Yeah, you guys let us know if that's bothering to any extent of the imagination.
Oh, Gecko, if I'm pronouncing that name right, Geqqo. Did you name the guitar already, Kris? I kind of did. Yeah, I wasn't about to talk too much about it because I don't want to just talk about my stuff. But now that you asked, I was thinking this was a suggestion on my Instagram channel, and it would be Bellflower. How do you like the name? Jeez.
It's a really, it reminds me of those old ships, like an old wooden ship with golden ornaments over. I think it's a very fitting name. It's also a very ship-like shape.
Ship-like shape?
The offset thing reminds me of like a sail.
It's sort of a shape that looks like it's in motion, like it's blurry, almost like warped.
No, that's true.
The thing is, because this shape is pretty much like a flower, and because bellflowers are blue and yellow in this middle, obviously, which also works, I thought, yeah, man.
It's a really cool name.
It kind of has that kind of smoky bar, poker party, a bit of a Mississippi Rose, the ship, that kind of vibe to it. At least that's what I wanted to give it.
The Mayflower too?
And so there you go. I think that's a pretty cool name. Like, you guys let me know if you like it.
We got a bunch of really cool...
there were some other really cool name suggestions though, like Outcaster, which is amazing, but it's taken. It's taken, like multiple times taken. So, and all the other ones. Thanks for the suggestions, guys. It's been overwhelming. I don't know how many hundreds of name ideas. Really cool. Let's run through the gig, I guess. The rig.
Sorry,
the gig rig.
Our favorite ninja is asking if this isn't a premiere. No, this is live. This is live.
This is us being alive.
As Deja Voodoo mentioned, we're just like 6 to 12 seconds in the past, but this is live. Or the future, I don't know. Depends on which timeline you're at. I'm confused. I've seen so many Marvel movies.
I've also spotted Willard's comment, love Kris's matching socks. This was not really intentional and it's not perfectly matching, but these are tone socks, and I promised last time that I will not
He also said that the socks weren't relicked, so maybe that's all you need, like some amber tint on your socks.
Give me a week.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Foot relicking. There's got to be a niche somewhere on the internet.
Okay, let's cut this. Oh Jesus! All right, so I was going with the Bellflower into which was it? The Plexitone, Carl Martin Plexitone. Can I raise it? Can I? Please stand up. Slim Shady, can you go on it?
Slim Plexi.
The slim. Oh, jeez, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Is it somewhat? I cannot. It's a patch cable which has a certain length, and it's not the ideal one. This was the Plexitone by Carl Martin going into the reverb, which is the Golden Reverberator UAFX. It's on there. Can I really lift it? You guys know this pedal probably. We've been using it a lot. And then going into the ACS1 from Warhorse Audio, where I had Fullerton amp simulation, which is the same amp, the deluxe reverb, as what G was using, and that went into a cab. I cannot tell which one. I've chosen the one I kind of preferred the most.
One that's on there.
Yeah, and this is how it sounds without anything. It's just the ACS1 and the guitar. And then I had just a few pedals
Actually.
on for drive and a bit more reverb.
Going direct out from the pedal into the iBox into the interface. The monitors are just for us to hear what we're doing, what's happening.
What were you using? Was it just the Dream or
what was I
anything in front?
using? I'm
the
going to
Ottawa.
tell you exactly what I was using, Chris.
You were in hockey.
Some people are really into the socks frolicking situation. We need to go back. We'll go back to that very shortly. I was running into that board as you see it. I was going into the Ottawa, into the Archer Icon by J Rocket, into the Echoes, that was on. That's off because I didn't find a power supply. And going into the Dream, which is obviously the 65 Deluxe Reverb amp in a box, new thing for reference. Just the guitar into the pedal sounds like that. The reverb is coming from the pedal because it's a great reverb, and yeah, I had the clone on there. I'll turn some things on and off just for a second, you guys to get an idea. There's the hiss that kind of I'm easily disturbed. I'm easily confused. I saw somebody said that sounded good. I'm happy. Thank you.
Yeah, that's also something we wanted to ask you guys. How do you find all the tones you're hearing today in this live stream? Because obviously it's a live stream, so we don't have the chance to sort of tailor it and make sure that it sounds the same as here for us in the room, which is something everyone normally does. If it's an edited video, you want to make sure that there's a low cut, not that it feels more boomy and low end heavy than it was in the room, etc. Miking is always different, so you need to kind of make sure to give a realistic tone. For that, you need some audio editing. We don't do a lot. Usually it's just very, very subtle EQing, just some low cuts, right, Teemu? Just subtle stuff like 2 dBs max that gets moved here and there. Really subtle changes, but we don't have the chance to do that on a live stream, obviously. So what you're hearing is exactly what goes through the whole rig. I want to give you some gainy tones as well, but I've read a couple of questions. First of all, was from Krenar Silku guitar. Kris is guitar. And he meant if this guitar is tuned lower. Yes. I have 11 to 52 the earnable strings. The
baby strings, really, but.
Shut it. What's it called? Burley Slinkies, I think. The 11 to 52, and I have it on D standard because I wanted a guitar that is just tuned lower without the intention of purely playing metal. I just love lower tuned guitar tones. I can drop it to drop C, which is sick, and I can use a slide ring. I can use a fuzz. I can high gain the hell out of this. It just kind of works. That's the beauty of P90s. It really does everything from like kind of modern-ish high gain back to like the most vintagey kind of nasty mid-range heavy tones. And also, if it's a good P90, and these really are, these mojo tones, you get that sparkle, that bell-like clarity. I wonder why it's called Bellflower.
Oh, dual meaning thing. You missed so many comments. You really picked the ones that you like.
I just, when I'm talking, I cannot multitask.
Zeph was saying shrimp shady. I think it was worth mentioning. Also, we have so many people from California right now.
Sweet.
East Bay. And, Darkstar said Niagara, right? I read Niagara somewhere. Niagara County, New York. Yes. Hello. And
Niagara County,
Vets Hangout was also, I think, say hi from Southern California. Yes, hello everybody, it's really cool to have you. Thank you for joining. Amanda is here. Woohoo! We can start now. We can start now. We're just like, you know, we've been holding back since, but now that you're here, we'll go. I had a question, a fairly interesting question about the UAFX pedals and asking if there was one, I think Rüdiger
the Marshall.
Ehrlich, that modulates Marshall amps. No, not necessarily. But if you look back at the Woodrow and the history of the Fender Bassman amps and all of that, that is essentially what the Marshall Plexi is, a modified version of that.
The first
Fender
JTMs,
amp.
really.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that couldn't be imported to the UK, so Jim Marshall started making those amps based off on the architecture of that
Of a
tweed,
Bassman,
tweed Fender amp. So I'm not saying that this sounds like a Marshall, I'm just saying that if you're looking for vintage Marshall sounds, the Woodrow is doing a really, really good job at being boosted in and just cranked as well.
It's that kind of broken, crazy amp distortion, like overdrive. Yeah, so really vintagey tone. It's really nice. Also, honestly, we have zero information on this, so I'm just guessing, like an absolute wild guess. But can you imagine UAFX not coming out with a Marshall at one point?
Yeah.
If these are selling good and people love them and use them, and you know they end up on boards all over the planet, why would they not bring out a Marshall version? I'm just guessing they would probably go again a bit on a different road than all the other companies. They would not just put in, I don't know, tons of other amps. They would go for specific Marshall products, Marshall, you know, a JTM setting, a Plexi setting, whatever, those things. I can totally see that happening, but who knows? Maybe not, maybe in, I don't know, 100 years, but I don't think. It seems like a very logical thing to do if these perform well.
To me, it's tricky with Marshall as well, because as much as you won't struggle to point out that the 65 Deluxe Reverb is probably Fender's most famous amplifier, as well as the AC30 for Vox, which is almost the only amplifier. No, I'm joking, Vox. But what's the quintessential Marshall amp to you? Is it the JTM 45?
And I think
is it
that's
the Plexi?
why
Is it the JCM 800? Is it
the 900?
You know, there's so many like Marshall amps that went into become just like legends. And I honestly wouldn't know, even just for myself, I don't know if I'd prefer a Blues Breaker or JTM 45 or a
JCM
800. Like all of those are valid, and I love all of those amps.
Yeah, it's tricky. I think they would do something like on the Ruby, which is the AC30 version, where they have a top boost.
The 63 top boost and the 61.
Like the non-top boost, which are essentially different amps built into one pedal because they give you such different vibes. I totally would see that happening on a Marshall pedal if they ever made one. Which would be like, you know, a JTM channel, a JCM 800 maybe even, and like a Plexi. Those three settings would look really good on a pedal like this. So whatever, might be something. Hugo Lopez writes JCM 800. Totally, man. I mean, what an amp. If you've ever played one, you know exactly what we're talking about. It's ridiculous, and people kind of forget about it because there's always a new hype and a new whatever. I didn't play the JCM 800 for so many years, and then a few years ago in the shop, I just had a few minutes and I was like, oh, come on, let's plug into some amps. And I plugged into like the reissue that was in the showroom, and I was like, how can this amp be so damn good? Like, still, it's not like, I get it why this was cool like 30 years ago. It's not, it's one of the best amps ever, and it's just so timeless. So
Jeffrey's saying if they made Marshall amp pedal, you'd have to buy at least 8 of them and stack them on stage. That'd be so sick. Such a cool power move. Rip some more licks, more tunes, please.
Totally.
And someone's asking about fuzz. I'll do some more Ottawa thing because that's a request that I've seen.
And I have one of the coolest fuzzes on this board, the Alpha Hound.
They wanted to have the fuzz into the Dream as well. So maybe you can play. Give them some more Joey Landreth tones. I've seen that somewhere. So no pressure. I'll go get a fuzz and I'll be back.
Okay, we'll do that. I'll give you a bit more than just Joey Landreth because my Joey Landreth is not good enough to last longer than 10 seconds of trying hard and failing. I played clean. I played the Plexitone. Let me play the Friedman small box. Can I lift this up a bit? Lucas, can you catch this one? He's nodding, kind of, almost convincing. This is the Friedman small box, which is an amazing, well, British voiced overdrive. I'll play that a bit. I'll put the Archer from J-Rocket in front of it for some more gain, maybe, and play around with the Golden Reverberator and the Starlight from UAFX for some spacious joy. This one. For Canada.
Someone was thrashing on Otto earlier. A lot of compliments there, though. I like that, absolutely thick, chug it. What pickups are in that guitar, Kris?
These are the Mojo Tone low wound vintage P90s, like normal P90s.
Yes, although I'm sure the pedal is 1,000 more times more fun than the City.
Oh.
Hey!
Oh, come on!
It's all right. It's not Montreal, but you know, it's fine.
Deja Voodoo writes thick but defined. Yeah, right? I mean, let me check how you like the tone. I'm down with the thickness, Kris. Yeah, I gotcha. Oh, nice. I like that. Says Dark Star, thick but defined, Deja Voodoo, Chug It, Poo Ninja. Oh dang, that sounds bad as Vats Hangout. Nice. Tasty, metalhead, hippie. Cool. Apparently, you can get pretty decent tones without amps. And we're probably the only two people who are still surprised by this fact because so many people don't use amps.
I use amp. I don't use speakers, for example, at home. Like that's also a thing.
But
that's a question that was asked there. We can go back to that in a second. I can't remember who asked a fuzz into the dream, but here you go. It's a fuzz. Eric Johnson lick that I know.
The what?
It's in there.
Yeah, Vets Hangout writes, no speakers? I'm not sure if you're surprised by the fact that he is not using speakers a lot, like normally, or today in this live stream, because we're not even using amps, nor speakers, nor nothing, just pedals that simulate amps, and we're using these Neumanns just to hear ourselves, but you're not hearing that, you're hearing the straight signal, the line signal going through a DI box and then into the audio interface. If you're surprised that he's not using speakers whenever, or like on a regular basis at home, how is your rig at home? How would you play or record or just practice?
Today in Guillaume's rig rundown.
Rig rundown.
I'm using the Rev D20, which is the same amp that we use here in the studio a lot. If you watch any of our videos on Wednesday, that's an amp that Kris and I use weekly, at least on the channel. And I use the same amp at home, and the cool thing about it is that there's the 2 notes technology built into the amp, so you still get like a full tube preamp and power amp, but you get the power soak inside the amp, so you don't need to have like a speaker plugged into it without the amp
ruining
exploding.
the amp. Yeah.
And so you just come out of the amp XLR, and you can use any of the 2 notes DIN IRs,
dynamic
IRs. And I record with that, and so straight from the head into the interface. I don't have a speaker. I use monitors, just like in that setup today, to record at home, and it works really well. I'm super happy with it.
Yeah. Same for me. I don't use the D20 that much because I have the big brother at home, the Rev Dynamis 740, which is a 40-watt amplifier, which doesn't have any of those fancy stuff built in. But I have like the 2 notes Capture X, which is like a load box and a cab and mic simulation unit, and you just plug your XLR cable in it and then into the interface and record everything, or just plug it in your mixer and just listen to your playing through monitors or headphones or whatever you want. That and the aux box, which is Universal Audio's very similar unit. They do feel different to play, they have different tones, they have very different price points, they have strengths and kind of weaknesses or like less fitting ways of using them. Yeah, it's there's so many ways of doing this. We both prefer using an amp and then a cab simulation.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. I haven't, well, it's also, in fairness, I don't have any of those at home.
Yeah.
I think that's been
a
coming
good enough reason not using them.
It's been coming a long way. Hey, UA. It's been coming a long way as well. And I feel like that kind of, like we're getting to a point where that could definitely be a studio tool. And because right now, I'd love to go stereo, for example.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
yes,
I don't have that
to.
option with my amp. So yeah, that's the thing. There's so many good comments on that. Someone wants to buy the posters in the background.
Yeah, I wanted to read that one out. It's so cool. You guys realized them. These are posters we made for our studio. Like we have, we talked to our graphic designer and told like, hey, we want some posters, and you know, can you give us some ideas? And he took some pictures of us and some non-us related themes as well. And we just wrote random stuff on them, and they're pretty funny. But most of them is luckily written really small, like the jazz one.
Don't give away all the Easter eggs.
We are happy you cannot read it. Yeah, maybe one day.
No, but Lucas is zooming on it. I'm pretty sure that's
Don't zoom. Yeah. It's fun.
Sorry. There was a cool comment. Another one that was asking about dangers of blowing your studio monitors by playing guitar through them, by playing a bass through them, I assume with some sort of cab simulation or modelers, not modelers, but like amp in a box, like those. No, I think like it's pretty, I mean, okay, let me clear that up. This will not blow anything up because it's still going through your interface. And the preamps on your interface are a lot more sensitive than the speakers. So the preamps are going to start clipping way before your speaker is really in danger. Yeah. So as soon as you've got that red dot on your interface, just take the gain down or take the volume down on whatever pedal or whatever ampless rig you're using. The only way you could blow up your speakers is if the volume, like the output volume on your interface was completely maxed out. Then this is completely maxed out. It's speaking, and it's speaking for, I would say, a sustained amount of time. Like it wouldn't just like explode. I think it'd take like you know, if not seconds, maybe a minute or two for your speakers to just like die out on you.
Depends on, I mean, if you just hit the low B string on a 5 string really hard and everything is just maxed out, yeah, sure. I mean, you can destroy speaker cones easily. You
also,
know?
you do
but you
all
really
of that
have to
stuff
want it.
To your own risk. Like, we're not giving you any professional advice on anything. Be careful with what you do anyway. We will not be held responsible for whatever happens to your speakers. But contrary to popular opinion, there is no TNT in speakers. So they like to blow them out. You really, really want to go for it.
Yeah.
Like.
Also, bye-bye Poo Ninja. He needs to go to scout, I guess. Yeah, the thing is with levels, it starts to distort and sound terrible way before you actually destroy something that's built well. Like if you have, as told, all the red lights on everywhere, everything's peaking, just go down. And as soon as you don't have your level above 0 dB, which would be a normal, well, dB, like 0 level on your line level audio interface or whatever, then the worst thing that could happen is that it just distorts, like the speaker itself distorts if you still, I don't know, gun it. But you can definitely use it. There are so many studios where you would sit in the control room, like there's the mixer guy with the huge desk and the near field or midfield or whatever field monitors, and then the bass player or the guitar player or whatever player sits there and just, you know, tracks the song and listens to himself or herself through those monitors. So it's an absolutely normal thing to do. Just check the levels. That it's not distorting.
RaxFX is saying that square wave can blow a tweeter. Yeah,
totally.
Absolutely. Totally. But you know, again, it have to be like super extreme, super loud, and just if you're doing it correctly. Or at least carefully.
What is that?
There's no chance of blowing anything up with any of those devices.
I feel like playing a bit more. You wanna jam something?
Yeah, but Ken, I wanted to hear my. I think I saw that somewhere. Can we please hear that one? Red Beauty.
Oh yes.
Let me just check what tuning it's in right now, because I had it for looks. Sounds great too, but it might be in some weird variation of open something.
While you're doing that, there's a question from Francesco Cieffo. I'm sorry for butchering names.
Well
Dream 65 seems pretty sparkling from the demos I've seen. Does the lead mod, which is one of the modes on the pedal, it's gone. He just deleted it. Sorry, Francesco, I almost read it.
Oh, it's back.
If you can get a more jazzy tone with in the lead mode.
Taking out the bright cap be useful for some jazzy. I already put it in lead. You can.
Maybe go for it. Doesn't really change the way the pedal sounds when the boost knob is off, and as soon as you turn it on to disengage the tone stack, which is something that happens in that mode, it starts to distort. So you wouldn't get a jazzier tone with that. You could just go down with the treble.
I forgot the second part of the question. Yeah, jazzy, no, I don't think
like a warmer tone.
Yeah,
just go,
just
go
the
back
EQ,
with the treble. Yeah, this would be a lot of bass and not a lot of treble.
Somebody got mad because they were saying my Bixby was fake and wasn't working. It is very functional. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can make it sound warm and sort of mid-rangey. Just reduce the amount of treble, and there you go. What I kind of miss on this pedal, to be honest, and that's literally the only thing, is a bit more headroom, and just that big, punchy, clean tone. If you know the deluxe reverb, up until like, well, 3 with humbuckers and 4 or 5 with single coils, you get that insane amount of attack. Like you hit the string and it just pops like so fast and so thick and so like full sounding. It's almost ridiculous from like a not very big combo actually. And that's something that I don't really feel. Might be just the way we are listening to it right now.
There's
but
definitely
that's the only thing. There's this super clean, headroomy kind of deluxe reverb tone. Because the crunch is awesome on it.
It does it, like the volume in that position here, without, I don't know if I would call it headroom, to be honest. I think the output is pretty hot on this, because I've seen Ryan's video, and up until, about 9 or 10 o'clock, which, isn't that 3, 4 on deluxe?
Yeah, like 10 o'clock, yeah.
You know, it's like, it stays very clean. I feel like it's also because I like putting a ton of overdrives in front of everything.
That might be the reason.
I don't want to blame the pedal, but go check out, I know 60 Cycle Hum Ryan has done like a pretty extensive review of the Dream, because that's his ballpark, 100%. Like
totally.
It's all surfy and everything. And he tries it out with different pickups, and he likes the pedals very clean. I don't. So I didn't spend too much time trying to stay super sparkly on that, but that's the way he does it, so.
Let's try it. I mean, P90s are not that low output as like single coils, but can I have your cable for a sec and see how that works with like a kind of a single coil?
Sorry.
Yo. Now. It sounds amazing, but it's not clean. I mean, even at 6, volume 6, that should be clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know.
love the tone, but
I'm thinking the speakers might also be responsible for some of the distortion that we get on this side. Don't put even if you down the volume, don't.
Is it that
down
loud? The output is so crazy.
Yeah,
okay. You just have to go on 0. Okay, it works. It is super clean if you want to, but you can not turn the volume up, which is essentially the gain. It's like how the amp works. It's unexpected, not a usual setting on a pedal. Normally 0 is where nothing comes out. It's the unusable setting on pedals. This definitely works. It is like its most headroomy kind of clean tone, and you get a kind of a crunch as soon as you start going to like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
All I'm reading is that Jeffrey's saying, why would you want it that clean? I agree. Melanie also said, who doesn't like a ton of overdrive? I'm with you on that, Guillaume. Thank you. I always knew you had good taste.
Yeah.
to my.
No, totally true. The only reason I would have, I would want that much headroom is if I use like a drive pedal that likes clean amps, or if I want to have a delay or reverb in front of this. And I don't want those to distort, which is the way I use my amps. And that's how I would want an amp sim as well. I like the option of cranking it, of course, and then putting a, I don't know, tube screamer or an archer in front of it. But if I just want, can you give some echoes on this tone? And
There's echoes on
oh,
this
what?
thing. Yeah.
Your delay settings are way too subtle. The time is long, it's just a mix. Shorter? Yeah. Doesn't do the tone while it's too fuzzy. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I found a setting for
So
myself.
it's a
on the
good
Dream.
board I put together right now.
Jeez, that's a nice board too. Yeah, definitely. That was the Pantheon. One side of the Pantheon, the channel one
Yep.
on the Pantheon Deluxe, which is a Bluesbreaker style tone. Then the echoes, and then the Dream for the amp simulation.
And then I went all fuzzy with the Pandora.
The
by
VS Audio
Audio.
Pandora in front of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to give you my cable back, but I have to, I guess. What?
Somebody wanted to know how clean the Woodrow gets and when you ever want to try the Ruby. So,
Okay. Which one do you want?
No, get the Woodrow.
Okay.
Oh wait, what was the full question? Do we have to swap
the
both?
question was how clean this one gets.
Clean.
Yeah, same thing.
Clean.
Timo?
And I just say someone playing through the Ruby and the Woodrow would be appreciated.
Happening. It is happening.
So wait, I'm gonna put the Ruby here.
Yeah. There you go. That might be on in a second. Needs to boot.
Yeah.
These are computers. So. Okay. Cannot read anything. Is it anything on? No.
Does Teemu have a hangover since Finland won yesterday? Teemu, what's the situation? Are we
I do not.
You do. Do you say fortunately or unfortunately? You were still working off of Saturdays. And I know that Sunday was a different story. I was there.
Okay, so we're trying to get some sort of a headroomy kind of tone because this one, like Tweed amps as well, will start to distort even earlier, and it's that vintage, scratchy, it's about to explode kind of drive tone. So how it does the opposite. Is it me clipping, Teemu? I don't think it's still doing it when it's barely on.
There's no clipping. Yeah.
No here, okay. I really like the tone. It works, but this was the Plexitone from Carl Martin. There's just some weird clipping going on. I guess it's just the our cabling situation, but it has way less headroom than the Dream on Zero, like the volume on Zero,
And
but more mid-range and more, well, more of a mid-humpy kind of tone. Definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely the least clean out of the three. I think the Ruby has even more potential to stay clean because you have the normal channel, and since everything is like
Dark Star says your socks are building up static. You're kidding, but you might be right.
and again, that's like with humbuckers.
Nice.
Ah!
One more.
Humbuckers, neck humbuckers in C.
I'm gonna give you a high gain tone until you're patched up.
Patched up.
Too late. Go for it.
Theo was on.
Jeez.
The Bontheon's been on the whole time.
Yeah, that's your clean tone, right?
The volume is above halfway up.
Yeah. It depends on the setting, I guess. On top boost, it would react differently than on a non-top boost one, but that's awesome. Ooh. Which one? The
I just saw the comments, like, you got it.
That's what Jacko wrote. We need the kill switch engage riff. Drop D.
There you go.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I'm kind of surprised. The Ruby's clean tone is right now today my favorite out of the three.
The normal channel on it is really, really nice. And like, again, we're just talking about sounds today because in the end that's really what matters. But like, if you want to dive deeper into all the, again, the functionalities of those pedals and what you can do by programming the foot switches and doing different things and whatnot, they're more than just one sound and one preamp. You can always have like another preset saved. You can always use the foot switches to use the vibrato and the reverbs that we haven't like always made a good use of today. It's like, it's the tip of the iceberg, but it's definitely the most important part as well. Just the, you're zooming in on the
There's just literally one thing missing on those pedals for a few players. This output, which is the headphones output.
Oh yeah, that was a
which
lot
the
of
ACS1 has and the Iridium has, and UAFX didn't include that on these pedals, which kind of disappointed a few people. Mostly people who would take these on, I don't know, trains or whatever and practice, or in a hotel room or whatever, and remain silent, like completely silent.
Because
there are ways of doing that.
Yeah, you still have to have your interface and like, and plug into an interface.
There are really small. Well, you don't need an interface. You can use a really tiny mixer with headphones out. Just plug this in that, and you go good. But it's like one more thing to carry around. Which I get it. It's a feature. Could have been nice, including on the outputs, like having on the app an option of maybe there is though. Have you checked the app for like headphones option?
No,
I don't think there is one.
No, I
haven't seen one.
We'll pin something underneath. I'll have a look afterwards into the app, see if there's something like this. But I seem to only remember standard mode, like live mode, and full cable method.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can program these switches, but I don't.
No, but like I mean, in terms of the outputs, like these were the only two patching options in the app. Then again, that was the beta, so I'll have a look at the app now and pin a comment if that has changed somehow.
But I can see that happening because it's probably just an internal thing, because these are definitely capable of doing it, I guess.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's something that some people miss. I don't really like playing with headphones, to be honest. I prefer just playing the guitar unplugged, even if it's like this on an electric guitar, because it's always different playing guitars with headphones like straight out from a device, whichever device that is, honestly, whether it's a Camper or one of these pedals or whatever, it just always feels unnatural, and I can never really tell how my tone is if I'm using headphones, no matter which headphones, if those are like the most expensive bare dynamic studio headphones or just earbuds. I don't feel like that's inspiring enough to go for that, so I don't really do it. But I get it.
For people, who have no options, like
I would rather get a small, like a boom box, like one of these Bluetooth speakers, and the ones which have like a
hello
aux
latency,
in.
how are you doing?
No, with the aux in, the auxiliary in, and just grab a cable that works, like 2 TS jacks into one TRS. I guess it's the easiest way. That would still give me more of an actual guitar amp experience compared to headphones. But it's just me. I'm probably not like majority with this. Could be. You guys let us know if headphones is really a thing you do. I know some people who barely ever play without wearing headphones. I cannot. I don't like it.
Yeah, it depends on what you can and what you obviously want to do as well. But
that's why I pay attention to my guitar's acoustic tone, even though it's an electric and these are magnetic pickups, etc. But if you no, literally.
Are we going back there?
I'm not talking about if whatever of that means anything to an amp. I'm talking about you playing your guitar without an amp because of reasons. And does it sound cool still, even though it's not loud because it's a solid body? I have guitars that just sound so fun without an amp that I just don't mind not plugging in an amp. I don't know, I love practicing, like late night practices. I just, throw myself on a couch or in my bed or whatever and just, have the guitar on top and we have my feet up and just play. And I don't bother with, socket, where can I plug in my, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so free as well.
Yeah, Amanda is saying people with babies, very useful. Melanie likes to play with the Vox headphone amp as well. Pero stomp on my table so I don't have to buy the plugins. But there's so many cool ways to just play guitar and to hear yourself anyways. Like nowadays and anyways, there's just like whatever makes you play. Whatever makes you play in the end. Like today we're looking at those options and they're very practical, but they're also not the most affordable versions of what that could be. They're definitely for people who are looking for the most faithful rendition of that very specific amp. So it's definitely not for everyone, and I think those tools there are not as much a practice tool or like a practice
can be used for that.
It can be used for that.
It's not really
at
meant for that.
At that level, I think, mostly talking about the UA stuff, at that price point for the one amp that you're getting, they also know that they're looking at gigging musicians. And musicians that are using this amp and just need an extra channel. And this will never be used with headphones at any point in time because they'll be included into a rig that's much more complicated than that. It's also a question of that, like do they want to target people who practice at home with headphones? I'm not quite sure. It would have been a nice thing to have on the pedal, but I also don't think that's the primary sort of target
I
group.
think they also think in their own ecosystem, which means that if you have one of their interfaces, you just plug this one in that, which will have headphones out, and you just, and if you're on the road, in a hotel room somewhere, and just want to take this one thing, it's not the most practical for that kind of practicing. Then I definitely recommend, something that gives you all the options you would need to avoid taking one more piece of whatever, which is like this one, the Iridium, which is also amazing and has headphones out, etc. So there are many options, or just a multi-effect, which will give you way more tonal options, not just the amp simulation on its own. So.
Pru Ninja is back with like, does a pair of 412 cabs count as headphones if you sit between them? Yes.
Yes, it's the best kind of headphones tone. That's my kind.
100%.
Poo, you're the best. Oh yeah, so cool. Alrighty, what is the conclusion of today's live stream? It's totally fine living without amps, I guess.
Be kind. Yes. Whatever makes you play guitar is fine, but it's true that nowadays so many good options to play without a traditional rig. Those are definitely part of them. The ACS one was killer today. I'm looking forward to trying out the ReVolt.
ReVolt, totally.
Obviously Strymon Iridium, all those options. Even when we touched ever so slightly to the like Rev D20 and just the cab simulation part of it, and that allows you to still use the rest of your amps and the rest of your whatever you already have and you already like, those have come a really long way.
Oh man!
And
totally.
I think we're just very lucky to play guitar nowadays and to be able to access these tones in such a small form factor, such a practical small form factor.
I've seen someone writing, I think Amanda Combs, people with babies, very useful, who would use headphones. I remember when my son was a baby and he was like in his whatever thingy, and I played my amp. But because I have the 2 notes cap tracks to attenuate the tone, I was playing through my 40-watt, ridiculously loud tube amp at whispering volumes. And I was like, ripping, and my strings were louder than my amp through my cab, just the attenuation minus 40 dB or whatever on its maximum attenuation. And it was absolutely safe. He was sleeping a meter away from my 1x12. And it's like, there are options, so many, and most are amazing. And it's cool to see like fully ampless rigs as backup rigs, or as just a next generation of really
I'm feeling a lot
really cool pedal board completely without amps.
A lot of touring guys,
Yeah.
like in the Nashville circuit or whatnot, that are walking around with actual 65 Deluxes or like Fender,
Yeah.
like repros of 65 Deluxe or repro of AC30 by any of the brands that make them and
Yeah.
make them really well. Those are still tube amps and they're really fragile, and those are being, you know, thrown in the back of vans day in, day out. And like having something like the Dream in your backpack, in your gig bag, in case you blow a tube or something halfway through the show, and you can just like plug in that pedal, or it's already plugged in, you just step on it. It's fine, it's safe. Like that is a luxury type of safety net.
Absolutely. Like subs, there are people like session musicians who would, you know, get a call like, dude,
Yeah.
3 hours there, a gig, there's a
Get-
set list, you know, WhatsApp.
Get your chicken picking on.
And it's like, okay, you grab one of these, a guitar, and maybe a drive if you need it,
Yeah.
and you're actually good to go. And you get your in-ears on stage anyhow, or your wedges, your monitors, and it's just awesome. You literally throw your guitar in your back and get in a train or in your car or on a plane, and you're safe. You know what kind of tone you will work with, what kind of tone you will offer to those who pay you money for that session work.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter on which level you are playing music at. If you're a professional, semi-professional, or a hobbyist, it's yeah,
Yeah.
full stop.
Full stop.
We need one more thing. First of all, send a million kisses to all you guys because you were awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Who said that?
And which one?
I don't know. That's
And we have to figure out a key and a chord progression for our
Oh,
goodbye
God.
jam. He's worried.
Don't ask them. Don't ask them.
He says I shouldn't
have-
ask you for a
They
key.
have horrible ideas.
It would be awesome if you guys send us some in the chat, some like a chord progression, something that's actually remotely music, please. 4 chords or 2,
If
not more
anyone,
than 4, please.
if anyone says E flat major, I will not play. I'm just letting you know.
E
right
flat
now.
major is the easiest thing. E flat major 9, fun starts there.
Yeah, I don't know. Just say A. Please. A minor. G flat major.
Yeah, G
No,
flat
that's
major.
coming from Phil.
Ah, come on, Phil, you bastard.
Toast. Maybe there's another suggestion.
Yeah, I'm waiting 5 more seconds. If not, then we'll stick to, oh, there you go. G minor, B flat, F, G minor. Okay. Oh, geez, I'm totally high gained here. Oh, wait, I might go back for the ACS1. If you want to test those chords, please, for us. That's loud. Hi, Timu. I love you too. Wait. I want to play the Dream for a sec. How are the chords doing, G?
So wait, are we staying on G minor?
Yeah, try it. I think it sounds good in my head. Whatever that means.
Okay. Then we got B flat major. Where's B flat major on the guitar again? Oh yeah, that's the one.
And then F, what was
Yeah.
it?
F. And then G minor.
And then,
Okay.
what was it? Lost it. Yeah, that's a safe one.
Okay. Should we go like? I just tuned.
Also, I'm tuned to D standard, so I will play A minor, C, G, and A minor.